Hey everyone, today I'm going to be ranking my top 15 eyeshadow palettes. Today I'm doing the top 10 and then I'll be doing the top 5 if that makes sense, and then I will be also talking about my honorable mentions for the year. So if you want to see the palettes that I absolutely fell in love with in 2021, just keep watching. I guess first we'll go with the honorable mentions. We have the Clarity Cosmetics Magic Lamp palette. This palette is beautiful, but I got this at the very end of 2021 and I just have not had the opportunity to use it enough to tell you my thoughts completely on it, but it is beautiful and I do love the quality, so I'm excited to try it more. We have the Own's Eye Giant Wolves palette in collaboration with Annette's Makeup Corner, and this palette is like so beautiful. I love the color story. The formula, however, didn't work great for me, but I've also only used this twice, so again, I can't give you my full thoughts on it, but I really did love the color story, and the formula of the shimmers was really nice. It was just the mattes I had issues with, so that's why it's an honorable mention. The last honorable mention is this La Mariposa Juvia's Place palette. The reason why this is an honorable mention is because I just didn't know where to place it, to be honest. The other palettes I didn't like, there weren't any I wanted to remove from my top 15, so that's why this is an honorable mention. Plus, it's one of the smaller palettes I have, but it is so beautiful. The quality is amazing. Juvia's Place is really stepping up their game, and I hope that in 2022 they do more fun palettes. Alright, now let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about my top 15. So, starting at 15, we have Orchid You Not by ColourPop. It's one of the most gorgeous, like, deeper purple palettes that I've ever seen in my life. The shimmers are not my favorite. I wish they were more metallic and intense, but besides that, like, the mattes in here make up for it. They're so freaking good. So this is one of my favorites. Like, it just spoke to me as soon as I saw it and I knew that I needed it. Number 14, we have the Michaela Glamlight palette, and I love this palette. The color story is just so beautiful. If I could hold it. I'm so sorry. I'm a mess today, y'all. Like, just looking at this, it makes me so happy. The reason why it's so low on the list is just because I didn't get as much use out of it as the other palettes, but besides that, it's beautiful. Like, I know that this is probably going to be the palette that I use the next time I do my makeup, just because it's fun and I want to use this shade Best Color. But yeah, this is number 14 because it's just beautiful. Number 13, we have the ColourPop and Animal Crossing collection, specifically these two palettes. There's just something about the way the pressed glitter is formulated in this palette that, like, it's almost like it's not a pressed glitter. It's more so like it's like a glittery topper, if that makes sense. They're just so good, and I love the looks that I did with these. It's a nice little palette. Plus, I love Animal Crossing, so I'm really happy with these little palettes, and that's why they're higher up on the list. I just think they're adorable, and overall, just had so much fun playing with them. At number 12, we have the BH Cosmetics Los Angeles Lost in LA palette. This is just a beautiful, like, pastel-y, bright vibe sort of palette. It's just so fun to play with, to be honest. BH Cosmetics is really stepping up their game formula-wise. I fell in love with this. From the color story to the formula to the shimmers, the mattes, everything was just so good with this palette. I'm very happy with it. The look I did, I had fun, and yeah, that is why it is at number 12. At number 11, we have the ColourPop and Star Wars The Mandalorian, The Child palette. I just fell in love with the color story, not to mention I love The Mandalorian, so it makes sense that I would love this, but this palette is just everything. The looks I did, I fell in love with. The formula of this is amazing. It's affordable. It's like everything I want in a green palette, to be honest. Like, I do even really, really like the, like, natural shades in here as well. Plus, this palette goes really well with their second Mandalorian palette, so I'm very happy with this, and that's why it's at number 11. And plus, it's just so cute. At number 10, we have the ColourPop and Powerpuff Girls palette. I just fell in love with these palettes. If I could open it. Doing this one-handed is such a pain. I can't wait until I get my apartment and then I can have space and use a tripod more. But this is the palette. It's really pretty. I'm not a big fan of the neutral row, but besides that, I love it. I love the look I did. I think it was fun. I think the shades perform well. I do wish that this was in their smaller pans because I'm never going to go through any of these pans. Besides that, I really love it. At number 9, we have the BH Cosmetics Wilderness palette. If you're not a gamer, I'm sorry, but the entire time I was trying to say number 9, I was just thinking about San Andreas.
2 number 9s. Number 9 largely.
I'm so sorry, but the Wilderness palette is absolutely beautiful. The reason why it is at number 9 is because I love the range of colors. Like, so you have blues and greens, and then you have reds, oranges, like a brownie shade, and then you have like, wow, I can really not talk today. But you guys can see the color story, probably. So, you know, you get me. It's a nice color story. I love mixing the colors together. Like, I just love the difference between like a green and a red, but putting them in a look together. I just think it's so pretty. I think this palette's versatile, and I had so much fun playing with it, and I know I'm going to get a ton of use out of it. At number 8, we have the Kaleidos Club Nebula palette in collaboration with Angelica. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name. Like, that wouldn't go well for me. Here's the palette with all its glory. This was limited edition, so unfortunately it's not available anymore, but I love this palette so much. It's such a good color story. I had to turn off flash so that you guys could see it a little bit better. It's just, I love this color story. I love the formula. Kaleidos has some of the best eyeshadows in my opinion, and like the formulas are just so nice. Like, I don't know. I'm just in love with this palette. I love the deep grungy colors, but also like the brighter colors. Like, I just think this palette is such a mood, and I'm in love. At number 7, we have the Nomad Cosmetics like Iceland palette. This palette is so pretty. I love the formula. Nomad's been coming out with some really amazing eyeshadows, so I'm very happy with this palette. This was like my second Nomad palette, and I'm just absolutely in love with it. I love the color story. Again, I love the mix of like blues and reds and oranges, but at the same time, the shimmers are where this shines for me. It's such a good palette. I had so much fun with it, and I know I'm, again, gonna get a lot of use out of it. It's just nice because it has darker shades, but then it also has fun shades as well. And lastly, at number 6, we have the P. Louise Worldy palette. This color story was just too good to not be my number 6. Like, it was so fun to work with. Everything blended perfectly. This is the first time I've ever tried P. Louise eyeshadows, and I am in love. Like, I hate the packaging. I hate how bulky it is, but the eyeshadows make it worth it. Like, this palette blends like a dream. I love the mix of blues, greens, and like deeper shades and then natural shades. Like, I love the entire palette so much. I do have to say the shimmers were very lackluster. They were more so satiny, not my favorite. So it's just the mattes that I'm absolutely in love with, and honestly made me very excited to try out more P. Louise. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys are excited to see what my top 5 palettes are for 2021. So if you are, make sure you subscribe, comment down below any videos you'd like to see me do. Go follow my Instagram and TikTok, Makeup by TASHA XO, and I'll see you in the next video.